everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Betty and today in this video I'm going to share the books I read in March. So every time I finish the book I immediately film like a little review, so that's why I'm wearing several outfits during the video. It's just easier for me because I easily forget the details about certain books, so that is why I film it like this. I really hope you will enjoy the video. The first book I read in March was The Gra Effect by Elle Kennedy. She's also the author of the Off-Campus series. The Off-Campus series is about Garrett and Hannah Graham, and this series is about their daughter Gigi, so I bet that is like 20 years later, like in the future. I haven't read the other series, so I have no idea what I'm talking about, but I guess that is it. I feel like I should have read the other series first before reading this one, so if you haven't read any of those books, I would definitely recommend reading the Off-Campus series first before reading this one. So I like this book. The characters were very likable. Some of them were like a little bit annoying at the beginning, but later they become more relatable and likable. So yeah, in this book Gigi is a hockey player, but she wants to make the national team, win Olympic gold and everything, but she has one problem: she's not really good behind the goal, behind the net. I'm not really sure, I'm not an ice hockey expert. Anyways, he asked Luke Ryder for help, and Luke Ryder has his own story, very sad story actually, but he helps her and he hopes that he gets something in return, and because he wants to do this summer camp with Gigi's father, so she has to put in a good word for him. Yeah, I really liked it, and the book was very easy to read, very fast-paced, and I really liked it. I only have one thing, and that is the obsession with height. I've seen this before in other books as well. I don't understand the obsession with height. Like, Luke Ryder was 6'5", I believe, and I just don't understand why it is so important. Maybe it's something personal, but I don't care about someone's height, especially not when an author mentioned it like multiple times throughout the book, and I don't know, I just didn't care. That was the only thing that annoyed me a little bit. But overall I would give it like a 4 out of 5 stars because it was still good. It reminded me a little bit of the first book in the Windy City, like Mile High, I believe, that book. I also really like that one. So yeah, I can definitely recommend this book, but like I mentioned, I would read the off-campus books first before reading this one. The next book I read was Inviting Trouble by Kylie Gilmore, and this is the second book in the Happy Endings Book Club book series, and you have to read them in order, otherwise it wouldn't make any sense. But this book is about Madison. Everyone calls her Mads, but she grew up with 5 brothers and her father, so she was surrounded by boys, men, and had never really had a mother figure or like a woman in her life. So she was like very into sports and comfy clothes, and she also had a crush on Park, he is basically part of the family since he was like 10 years old, because his old family situation was not great. And yeah, Madison is in love with him, and before Park leaves for the Air Force One, she wants to kiss him, have sex with him basically, but that doesn't end very well. And 8 years later he returns and she is still in love with him, and she really wants to impress him, make sure that he also falls in love with her. And I really enjoyed it. It's a very short book, it's around 200 pages, which was perfect because I was kind of bored on the weekend and wanted to read something quick, and this was just perfect. There are like 11 books in this book series. Not really sure if I want to read them all. I'll see, but for now I really want to read the next book as well. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's not the best book I've ever read, not the best romance ever, but yeah, I still enjoyed it. So I would give it like a 4 out of 5 stars. The next book I read was The Right Move by Liz Tomford, and this is the second book in the Windy City series. The first one is about Xander and Stevie, and Ryan, which is the main character of the second book, is the brother of Stevie. And yes, so Ryan is a basketball player. He's like super famous, he earns a lot of money, but he only focuses on basketball, no distractions at all. His apartment is like pretty much empty. It's just black and white, no colors, and he has no relationship because he doesn't want a distraction. And there's Indy, which is completely the opposite of him. She's like colorful and outgoing, messy and everything, and now she is going to stay with Ryan for a while because she has no place to live. And they both have like bad experiences with relationship. Ryan had a really bad relationship in college. He was cheated on, and he was like excited to start a family and everything, and suddenly everything was gone. And Indy was in a relationship for 6 years, and then her fiance cheated on her. And yeah, so they both have like really trust issues, but I really like this book, and yeah, I just really enjoyed it. The only problem I have is there is a lot of smut, if you know what I mean, in this book. I mean, reading a couple of smut scenes, sexy scenes, spicy scenes, however you want to call it, is okay, but there was a lot. Yeah, maybe too much, and I really didn't like that. But the story itself was pretty good. I think Ryan was like the perfect guy. He really took care of Indy, and he was like doing those little things for her, which I really liked. He started to learn how to sign because Indy's dad is deaf, and yeah, it made me cry at the end. He is really thoughtful, and I really like them together as a couple. Overall, I would say I enjoyed reading this book. I finished it in like maybe 3 days, which is pretty fast for me because I don't have a lot of time to read. But yeah, there were a lot of smut scenes, sexy, spicy scenes, which I didn't enjoy. So yeah, I was expecting to read a lot of more books in March, but I didn't, because it is Tuesday, the 2nd of April, and I only read 3 books. Considering how much time I have every single day to read, it is still pretty good. I come home around 8 every single day, so yeah, reading 3 books is pretty amazing. And also I am reading 2 books at the same time right now, and I almost finished them both, so that's still pretty great. But anyway, yes, these were the 3 books I read in March. Let me know what books you read in March, and I'll see you soon. Bye!